Hail and well met. Welcome to episode 38 of the Westgate Irregulars. I am your DM for the evening and for most of the campaign, Eric Scott DeB, and I want to give a special shout out to a couple of people who got the early bird trivia questions right. Those were Menegarath and Doug. Good job. I'm going to be asking more early bird trivia questions next week, so if you log on early, check those out. Take it away, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angel Saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms that follows tiefling twins fighting against the Nine Hells. I am also going to tell you about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure. And that includes Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angel Saga. The game is available for PC and Mac, on Steam and web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. And assuming you came here from the in-game notification, if you check down at the bottom of the overlay there, you will see this. Sorry. I don't know where I am. You will see the command to type in to get a gold chest code. So pop that in. Let us know what you got. Get anything cool and shiny. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you should go to their website, idlechampions.com, and find out more.
I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy under Rhiannon Held and space opera under RZ Held. And the first in the space opera for my birthday week, it is a gift to you. It is on sale for 99 cents. And you can look at all of our books because we are all authors using the Amazon widget on their Twitch page, or you can go to our website at dungeonscrawlers.com.
Hey, I'm Yang Yang Wang. I'm a writer and a filmmaker.
Can I just point out the code today is randomly generated, but it does end up pointing to one of our best episodes because it is Yang Move Vamp.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
I like to think it honors
Oh my goodness.
destroying.
I've been chosen by the machine god. It chose to honor me. So
Yang Move Vamp?
That is the
yeah, that's the code today. Oh, crazy.
Is that like maybe it's a dance move? It refers to some kind of like vampire dance move.
No, I think it's when we killed the Duchess of Darkness because Stong threw her into a statue in the middle of a sickening
Into a load-bearing statue.
A load-bearing statue. Those city designers.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I am an author and a teacher.
Hi, I'm Randy. I'm a used soul salesman.
How much is a soul going for these days? A used one. Lightly used.
Lightly used? I don't
Lightly
know.
used.
I'd have to get into like there's a whole bunch of like,
It's got
qualities.
to be a credit check and stuff too?
Yeah.
Oh.
It depends on what kind of soul you want.
All right.
So
well, we'll
can
talk after the show. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I was going to ask,
right.
do you sell fish or do you sell like the spiritual souls or shoe souls?
I thought he was talking about ergonomic shoe inserts.
Oh, we're on
You
the same
thought he was
page
talking
then.
about
Yeah.
fish? Yeah. That's,
No.
Used fish,
Shoes,
though,
shoes.
man. Used fish.
Used fish is the word.
Lightly, gently used.
speaking of lightly, gently used souls,
Oh.
last game was mostly a chase where Cecilia was running away from the party that seemed to have turned away from her. She just kind of reached an emotional moment where she just couldn't deal any longer. And who came after her but everyone's favorite himbo, Sarshan. And he managed to convince her not to abandon them for the endless winter. And then the group came back together. And I'm sure everyone is all better and every wound is fully healed. And
That
we're
sounds
just
like
back
us.
to the full team. Trauma involved.
Well, and one of our viewers managed to coerce our DM to level us up. So we're all new, freshly minted level 10.
We grew
That's
from
right.
the trauma.
We
Yeah,
did.
that's right.
All from your trauma, Cecilia. Your trauma grew all of us.
I told you all not to follow, but you made that choice. So
That's right. So we're going to start this session with Cecilia. And Cecilia is in the midst of terrible, terrible nightmares.
oh no.
And they involve, well, a man who is being manipulative, abusive, controlling, shouting at her.
In the middle of the
and he
frozen
keeps
winter.
appearing in multiple dreams that she has, and she cannot get any sleep. You want to tell us anything about these dreams, Aaron?
So I think Cecilia's recurring nightmare is of being in the endless winter, fighting Fae and red wizards, and specifically being ambushed by a red wizard with a bone claw. So she is trapped in a kind of a crevasse with a comrade who is dying, and the bone claw screaming. But of late, it is not the bone claw screaming; it is the sound of her father's voice telling her how useless she is,
And so Cecilia wakes in a cold sweat from one of these nightmares.
probably
And where do you
casting
awaken?
counterspell.
Where do you awaken? Are you still in the Fey Grove? Did you go back to Reddenseer? Are you camped on the road to Westgate? What would work
I don't
best?
know. What do you guys think? Aaron's like, we would go back to where there are beds. So that is my first choice. But
Which of the wilds does need a comfy place to sleep? So
Aaron does. I don't know about Cecilia. Probably. I think Cecilia wouldn't say no.
all right,
Okay,
so
we're back in
we'll
Reddenseer.
say you're back in Reddenseer. All right,
Sure.
so you're in your own room there in Reddenseer,
Okay.
and you're lying there panting because the dream was so vivid.
I get like spells in my hands. Like I'm gonna counterspell somebody.
Yeah, like
Maybe I
little,
grabbed
little
counterspell. I
lightning
don't know if you can
crackles
take what you
around your
grab, what you
hands,
grab.
and a lithe form rises up from where it was curled near your feet and turns into Sergeant. He says, "Are you all right? You were thrashing and kicking."
Nightmare. It's nightmare.
Ah, of course. He sits down next to you and kind of like holds his arms out.
Tell me you're not going anywhere again. Tell me again
puts-
you're not
He
going
puts
anywhere.
his arms around you and puts your head against his chest. And he's
I
like,
was gonna
"Of course
say,
I'm not going anywhere."
does Cecilia know what a hug is? He signaled it pretty
That's a
hard.
wonderful question. I don't know. But let's say she can figure it out.
Of course I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you. Are you okay?
Am I all right?
Yeah.
Well, of course.
kind of
Ow.
beat you
Oh,
up a lot.
I did get stabbed
You were
several
not-
times right there.
Yeah.
It's okay. He leans back against the wall and leans you against him, and he says, I'll watch over you until you sleep, but didn't your sister give you something that might help?
Yeah. I didn't take any yet.
Do you want to try that? She
I don't know.
seems
What time
canny,
is it?
like she knows what's going on. It's really late. The moon is pretty high overhead. This is the third night of the full moon, the last night of the full moon.
I think Cecilia is a little concerned if she takes this that she's gonna like just not be able to wake up. There are so many things coming for them right now, but they are somewhere safe. So yeah, I guess that's a good idea. I don't know. I don't like taking things. I don't know what's gonna happen.
He says, well, I could call Ruan. He's very good at herbs and such.
This is my Ruan skeptical face.
I see that expression and recognize it. I'm sure we'll be fine if we just wing it.
Probably okay. It's not. I mean, I don't know. This one's a tea, so we have to boil water for it. But this one, I think we're just supposed to add some of it to some water liquid or something.
Right. He settles you against the pillows, and then he goes over to the
Broken.
medicine that's on your little desk there. He's like, lights a little flame in his hand. He's like,
I think I knew you could do that.
I couldn't do that until recently.
I see the NPCs have also leveled up.
And he heats up water in a tankard.
We're just gonna do both.
How much of this exactly am I supposed to add?
I don't know, like not the whole thing. I know not the.
Oh, not the whole thing. All right, he puts it back.
This is all very like weird. This is.
Do Do you want to take one or both?
I don't know. I just want it to work, though.
He hands you both.
I know I'm not supposed to take a lot of that one, but he didn't say anything about them not going together. I mean, the worst thing is I sleep all night, right? And then some more tomorrow.
Right.
Do we have a wagon? We don't have a wagon anymore. What happens if I'm asleep all day tomorrow?
One of us shall carry you.
Okay. I don't think that's gonna work as well as you think it does, because I weigh a lot more than you think I do. But
Ruan will turn into some sort of beast of burden and carry you.
he does do that a lot.
He was really excited about carrying Rogar again, but you know, I'm sure I could talk him into carrying you. He does seem very solicitous of your good comfort.
Yeah, I think Rogar yelled at him.
I think so as well. She seems very pleased by that concept.
Do you know who Ruan would be talking to in the Feywild?
What? In the Feywild?
I saw something. I don't know. It looked
In
like
your-
he was
in
talking
your
to
dream?
someone on the other side of the Feywild. Or he was spying on us. It's one or the other. Or it's both, maybe.
Well, it is Ruan.
I don't actually know what that means.
I
don't
don't
really
either.
know
It just
what-
sounded like something to say.
That sounds like Sarshan.
Are you taking the sleeping aids?
Yes.
All right.
I think she's drinking it while she's. And
Yeah.
so maybe her words are sliding away a little bit.
Okay.
She's like, listen, this is stuff.
Sarshan climbs back on the bed with you and just kind of like holds on to you, kind of rocks you gently.
I don't know. You should know. I don't honestly. I don't know. I don't know. I grew
Well,
up
right
in
now
a
I think you're going to
cloister.
sleep.
I am not familiar with.
There. And Cecilia, you dream again, but in this dream,
No, it's not supposed to happen. What's
it's
this dream?
very different from
That's
the dreams you had been having. You are in a Fey Grove. It looks very similar to the Fey Grove that you were in before, but this one, it's winter. It's covered in snow. All the trees, the leaves have fallen to the ground and withered away.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray.
Well, the leaves are not existent, but yes, they would have been brown if they were there.
Okay.
Anyway, so you see the two trees kind of conjoined to form this portal, and the branches seem to resemble antlers. And you're just realizing this when Hiranawatchu steps out of the trees. She was part of the trees, and those
Okay.
antlers are her antlers.
Bye,
Agree.
Cecilia.
All the
Says-
leaves are red.
Emissary,
Awkward bow.
she
You
doesn't
know?
react in any way.
It's probably good. It's better than the alternative, I think.
You
Am I
are afraid.
dreaming? What?
You are afraid.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you have to
no point in
fear?
telling you to lie about that.
What is it that you fear?
You're very powerful, my lady, and sometimes you're not the happiest. Are you not happy right now?
You have served me well, emissary, and I suspect you will serve me well in time to come.
Does that mean I have to leave? Because I don't really want to leave right now. I just kind of went through a whole thing about not leaving.
You have misread the situation, emissary. I have called you here in recognition of your bravery.
Me?
You have made a choice against your own nature. This is a brave and difficult thing. It should be rewarded.
Okay.
You fear returning to that man-made mountain of stone and harvested trees.
Westgate. Got that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to, and I don't really look forward to explaining that to
Because
everybody.
you will face him.
Yeah.
You know that it is inevitable,
Yeah.
and yet you go that way anyway. Because you are brave.
Cecilia does not really believe her, but she's following her logic train, and also she knows better than to tell Karanawachu she's wrong.
Courage
Maybe
is
she's right.
acting despite one's fears,
Even if it's real stupid.
especially then.
See where Sergeant gets it from.
I shall give you a gift for your
Good.
service
Thank
in the
you.
past and continued. She extends her hands, which have these gnarled fingers that kind of look like antlers, actually,
Are they
toward
bloody?
your face. Oh yeah, they're bloody.
Okay.
But it's kind of a combination of blood and tree sap.
Oh.
She reaches for you.
Okay. I am not gonna move.
And just when the antler fingers touch your forehead, you feel this slight warmth there, and then darkness.
And I don't get to know what it is. Till later.
Till later. All right.
Okay.
Enjoy your new tattoo on your forehead.
That's right.
That-
she put up.
It's like a.
Yeah.
We drew this in.
That morn finds the Westgate Irregulars back on the road to Westgate, returning home after so long away. It's really only been like 10 days or so, but it feels like months.
Song.
Yes, Sturge.
Before we arrive, I wonder if you might consider sending to our friend Shay and letting her know that I picked up this great new sword that drives me into a blind rage whenever I'm near a drow.
Ooh, good call, my friend. That was a very good call.
Well, you know, you never can be too careful. She's only half drow, but what if that's the half I try to kill? I don't know.
Yeah, let's not experiment with our friends' lives.
And let her know I won't be coming back to my room. And if she sees me by chance in the streets, she should make sure I don't see her. Just for the reasons
my.
aforementioned. And that it's nothing personal. It's just that, well, I can't. For now, I'm going to be stuck with it for a while. It's just for a temporary condition. And I'll move into Mirren's place for a while and help clean the place up while I'm there, and just sort of make sure I don't run into any drow in the streets. I know where they hang out. I can avoid that place, but, you know, never can be too safe. So if you could send to her, I would be most grateful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
fit that all into 25 words or less.
So if you say this around Cecilia, she's going to point out she wrote a letter to Shay and mentioned your
Oh.
very racist sword. So she's been proud.
Maybe my message will then be more pithy, and I'll just say, Shay, hope you're okay. Sturge is here. Be real careful. Run for your life if you see him. Sturge is here.
Do we
He's
need to,
still
like,
thirst.
Stop and like confab about what we're running into?
Yeah.
Like,
I did want to say really quickly that Sturge. So at some point, Rogar has. I'm sure Rogar would have mentioned to you that he could attempt a greater restoration upon you to remove the curse and remove your, the attunement between you and the blade. And if he asked you that, I'm assuming you'd probably would. What did you say?
Oh, well, Rogar, I thank you. I actually have a plan, an exit strategy, if you will. And that may well be part of it. I'll let you in on it. I have learned much from the man in the sword. indeed, I need to share this with the rest of the group. I hope no one will feel that I'm revealing too much. But
So
I
maybe we stop and have these conversations.
Yes, let's stop and have
Okay,
some,
yeah.
The horses eat.
Take a
and-
break around high sound.
let's stop
Alright.
and have some gorp. I learned what gorp is.
And produces berries for you as usual.
You guys know what gorp stands
And
for?
also,
Sorry.
go ahead and tell us, Stephen.
You know what gorp is? That it's back in the day before power bars, people went hiking, they made gorp. And all it stands for good old raisins and peanuts. Anyway, sorry. Trail theme from the 70s. I just read it in a book. I wasn't there then.
I was in Boy Scouts when I was younger, so yeah, I knew that, but not everyone did.
Yeah, gorp. Gorp sounds like a
Well,
gnomish.
Artemisia has like a water bottle. There
Mhm.
may or may not be water in it.
Mhm. You have a
but-
skin of liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Wait,
it's
there
not
may or
water,
may not,
then
like
it's
it's empty or like it's full of mushroom brandy.
yeah. I was thinking vodka.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Czar.
So
Ooh, czar. Ooh.
I mean, it's opaque. It doesn't need the clear like vodka. So
She's
as you
stocked
may-
up in Rens here. Yeah.
as you may have known, I chose to embrace the sword and its mysteries, thinking under the premise that by taking on a new curse, I may drive an old curse out. And I was right. You see, the elf in the sword has told me much about my strange, fiendish nemesis, who I didn't even know I had a nemesis until I was told I had a nemesis. And it turns out, well, he gave her a name. So I learned that. I also learned something about a new nemesis that we all have. I'm sorry to say this. Do we want to say this out loud? Sturge, is this wise? I'm not certain.
Sturge talking to himself?
He appears to be talking to himself.
Precious.
Sergeant
No,
says.
my precious.
No,
That's
this
where we all
isn't-
come clean about all the villains we've been hiding.
I mean, Stong is trying to save like the last 8 words of the sending in case something important is said that he needs to tell Shay. So he's just staying silent.
That part of the story can stay till later, but suffice it to say, he revealed some more things about another enemy that we recently discovered together. But as that is not all my story to tell, I will wait until later and say in private with some of you first, and then we can all learn about it. But my exit strategy, back to that. I'm going.
I just wanted to interrupt, Sergeant says. Not telling us about an imminent threat. That's an excellent strategy. I approve.
Oh my god.
I mean,
It's
that
always better to
reads
catch us by surprise.
It's not imminent. It's not imminent.
sounds like Sturge.
So here's the thing. I have a suspicion. The only reason the sword chose me to be its wielder was to get to someone else. It was sitting for who knows how long in the freaking astral plane with no one around, no one to kill, and yet all these mighty Yankee warriors flying about on dragons. If only one of those could wield it, but they couldn't get near it until I came along, picked it up, and was then yanked off my feet by the telekinetic powers of one of such Githyanki. That Githyanki is a mighty wielder. I am a weak. Look at this arm. Look at this arm. I am a weak
Spindly.
warrior. But by yanking me off my feet, she yanked the sword. Also, we got Scarcer is the perfect wielder. Think of it. I couldn't come close to her in a duel, even with the sword. I think I convinced the sword that I found her wielder, and the sword already knew this. I'm pretty sure. And in any case, your application of the Greater Restoration would indeed possibly be necessary to save me from great pain while someone takes the sword from me.
Well, I obviously would want to save you great pain. I was just making sure that, I'm just testing to see whether you were fully in control of your desire to hold on to that sword.
It does sound like you are okay letting go of it.
Aye. So that makes me. I feel better about that for sure.
And it has
Stong.
nothing to do with wanting to get any revenge whatsoever on Scarcer for rubbing me across the ceiling the other day.
Oh,
Oh.
Not at all. But
No.
consider, she is already a vengeance demon. She's 700 years old, and every moment of her life has been spent learning to get revenge on the squid face people.
so
And if
Stong will nod and he'll say, "Yeah, my maybe girlfriend does really love to go berserk. It's like one of her favorite things." Oops. And then that's
the
like the end of
squid-
this ending, I guess. But now
So-
Shay knows.
and the squid face people
What?
and the
I think
drow-
Shay already knew that actually.
Have they met?
Oh, that's true. Because we came back with scares there.
Oh yeah.
So
the squid face people and the drow often hang out. So
Aye.
Illithid.
perfect wedding of vengeance on vengeance. I can hardly wait to see it in action.
I enjoy the
Makes
fact that none of us
sense.
actually know what an illithid is. It's like squid face vampire people, whatever.
Hmm.
So you're
Okay.
a functioning cursed person. That's good. You're not
Wow.
not
All of
like
our
fully
of our
addicted
enemies-
and spiraling downward. That's good.
No.
all of the Westgate regular enemies suck, but in different ways. Suck blood, suck brains.
It's true.
Yes, they're all very predatory.
Mm.
Wonder if that's a theme.
Does Faye respond?
Oh yes. Does Shay have any response? I'm just going to ask Shay because she's in the chat, so
Oh,
we'll see if a response comes back.
okay.
Okay, so we have the sword, which is under control for the moment, so long
Mhm.
as you don't kill Shay. And you understand we're all going to stop you if you try to kill Shay, right?
Oh, I sure hope you will.
All right,
Um,
cool.
If you
Sleep
could
rest.
refrain, maybe just don't rub me across a rocky ceiling.
No promise.
Okay.
Actually, Artemisia could do that because she has telekinesis now.
She
Yeah.
did seem really pleased to do that.
Yeah.
It's fun though. If you rub
Sergeant
Sturge a
says.
lot against the ceiling, then balloons will stick to it. It's really cool.
I thought
Okay.
he would start smelling sweeter. Sargent says.
Definitely
So-
no. Okay,
You're probably
Back to
right.
Westgate. Back to Westgate.
Yes.
so we have established that Lilton is bad news.
Oh, yes, I learned some more about him.
Oh, is this the
Wait.
villain that you needed to tell us all about? Well, I
Yeah.
think we're all on the same page with this one, right?
As
Uh,
long
Well,
as-
what page is that? Sargent says.
Hold it.
No. So that is it's under control, and so nothing needs to change. I'll just take care of it. So
it's about information. I have information.
Okay.
What is your plan, Artemisia, to take care of it?
well it doesn't matter. I will deal with it. It's my problem.
Well,
Sadly, I
it's
can't.
everyone's problem.
Stong
I
wants
can't-
to lean over to Cecilia. Do we trust her plan?
Look, the thing is that now he knows that I know and you know, then I don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to put yourself in danger.
Stong, you
Especially-
abruptly receive a sending back from Shay. It says, I'll keep that in mind. I hope that the fact I'm Illustrayan helps. Now, also, ooh, do you have a girlfriend? Any word on Illira?
Maybe,
it.
girlfriend.
You're not sure if she got any reply from your reply from her reply.
Put a pin in Illira, because that is the thing we got to talk about too,
Yeah.
probably.
Aye.
Okay, look, we can't go back. If we go back to the purple lady, like he's gonna find us. We don't.
Well, we need like Sturge was saying, we need to go to Mirren's, and like
Oh.
and that'll be safe there, and then we can look
Ah.
at her library, and so
Ah,
that
yes.
is the place to go.
This-
Mirren.
okay.
That
I know-
woman
I-
seemed very helpful, Ruin says. And her library was extensive.
Plus, there's that floaty island for reading.
Sargent says, "Is that
Island goes up, island goes down.
is
Island
that the
goes-
woman I met the night I met you?" He points to
Yes.
Cecilia. Ah, yes, she seemed flighty.
A little,
Hmm.
but in a smart way.
Excellent.
So
I mean, she could fly, which is obviously.
okay,
Yeah.
obviously. So
How do you
I have
fly
to
in a
tell you-
smart way?
I know something. So Illyra. Okay, so I wasn't gonna say anything until I had proof, so I could show it to you, and it wouldn't be just like some rumor. Because who knows? Illyra does things for her own reasons. I don't understand them. But this thing, and she pulls up her sleeve, and she's got this 6-fingered handprint scar on her arm. This thing, Illyra has a mark like this on her back. She says that's from Lilton. Also, they were an item. I don't know if you know that. I don't know how you feel about that. So I hope that's not a bombshell. But
What?
Oh, and by the
Dong
way-
looks really pissed again.
Caleb
Like
and
his
I
vein
went
on his neck is starting to bulge.
to Niren's library to see if we could find anything. We found this. We steal that fifth. Do you remember? DM.
Sure. Let's
Okay.
say you have that book still.
Okay. We stole this book. It's back at the Purple Lady. It has all this information, but this house, Lagarno, Cecilia does not remember how it's pronounced at all, which is fortunate.
Large Regath, yeah.
That.
Mhm. That's the
uh,
one.
uh,
How could you forget that?
Demon Fae. And there's definitely one in there that's got.
I can add to that.
Okay.
The man in the sword named him Lilandranath Lardragath.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Poor DM.
Are we sure it's the
Standing
same
by while we
guy?
Butcher his name.
The last name is so
Lilian
different.
Viatant Large Regath. I put it in the chat.
You know, so we were
We're-
both real lazy studying our Elvish.
And
It's
he
ancient
is-
Elvish too. That's the thing.
He is
vowel shift
referred
is
to,
terrible.
as you know, the elf and the sword is very old. I don't know for sure, but it may be Shevresh himself. I don't know. I can't tell. Or the yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he doesn't name himself. I'm calling him by a name. I should call him
You just
Jarvis.
gave him a nickname.
He said I could give him a name. I should have chosen Jarvis because he's so useful.
Weren't you calling him halal?
Well, yes. In any case, this fellow, Lilandranath,
Lilian Viatin.
let's just call him Lily. Lily
Oh, he's gonna
I'm
love
sure I
that.
never heard that growing up.
Oh my
is known as the Lost Prince. And I asked, why would he be called the Lost Prince? Well, he's the last of his family, all Fey demons, who, because of their human or hubris, were rather exterminated themselves or with his help, and he had some hand in exterminating them apparently. But anyway, he's the last of his family, if that's what they have. And he's a survivor. And I asked Halal how I could help Artemisia, and he said, I know Artemisia, but you'll like what he said. She must disentangle herself. And I said, I wish to bring her some word beyond that she must disentangle herself. And he said some cryptic things about her weakness. It was judgy stuff. And
This seems like the stuff you should remember.
well, he said,
It's like blah blah blah.
I'll just tell you what he said. He said that her weakness is that she cares too much for others, and that Lily exploits this weakness, and that for some reason I or we must too in order to help her, and we'll know how and when. That was very cryptic. I asked him actually how we could defeat him, and he said, not going to happen.
Ah,
And so then I said, well, what do you recommend? And this I thought was interesting. He said, you must make yourself useful to him. So if we're useful to him, well, then he won't kill us off because, well, we're useful. I find that a little disagreeable, but on the other hand, I have a history of engaging in bad ideas.
What?
In order to
No.
the consequences of
Yes.
previous
And
thing
then he
bad.
looks over at Cecilia like, eh?
Anyway, he basically said that's the only way to defend yourself against him. Make yourself useful to him. It's an uncomfortable thing. Maybe it's just the opinion of one crotchety old elf, but
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
Stong.
we should take that as be all end all. We're not talking about a god of prophecy here.
no, it's true. But gods are gods. You know, Celia.
Well, we know Lilton is very into murdering drow, and so Chevrash is like, yeah, we are best buds.
Wait, what?
I mean, for all we know. Maybe that's why he
Well-
wants them to help him.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Mhm.
No, never mind.
Here's the most
Alright.
important thing.
It went
Nah,
over
never
my
mind.
head.
What an excellent rhetorical technique, Sergeant says.
Oh my
Keep us
god.
on the edge of our seats.
Yes.
Ren
His
says,
only
why
weakness
are you
is-
praising him about this?
I remember, if you don't want to die, there's this. Never mind.
I have something really important to tell you.
It comes back. This is when we want to know it. But
when was he? So I'm sorry, I might have misunderstood a little bit. What are you saying? Were you talking about Artemisia when you were saying she cares too much? And,
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how Lilton gets her claws deeper into her. But
And are we having this conversation in front of Artemisia? Just to
oh
be
yeah,
clear?
we're in a circle.
So we're just talking
Mhm.
about. You're just talking
Yeah,
about her.
Artemisia,
front of her.
like, her
Okay.
body language is like basically like tighter and tighter. But
uh,
she's like she's still there. She hasn't gone anywhere. She's just under control.
so thank you for your patience,
Mhm.
Artemisia. While everyone talks about your business, I do remember the last thing. The sword said that the Lilton is one person who could remove all the memory blocks in my head. I'm not saying that that tempts me in any way at all. I'm sure there's many people and beings that I've encountered that could do that for me. Sure.
Careful what terms you ask for.
Yeah. I'd have to make myself useful to him. So far he hasn't made you do anything terrible. Maybe he's not such a bad Fey demon prince after all. Maybe he's had a change of heart.
We're gonna roll back in. He's gonna be like, "Baby, I'm sorry. Let's just having a real bad day."
Oh no.
It'll be different this time.
Oh my God.
Artemisia, you can change
No.
him. You made him a better
Don't.
person.
No.
Ruan sidles up to Artemisia and he says, "Are you all right, sister?"
So what I'm going to do is I will go to him and I will tell him that I am already starting to forget and that Cecilia has already forgotten what we saw when we were in the ring, and then nothing has to change, because if that hadn't happened and we hadn't seen it, then I still wouldn't know, and so I'll just he told me that I could renegotiate the terms, so I will do that. I don't quite remember, but
Stong says, no, we do not renegotiate with this guy.
Ruan
She
says,
sees your
"Oh,
body
are we,
like,
are we going to fight him? That doesn't seem like something we can do."
I don't think we have enough information to decide what to do. This
I
is
mean,
the
Sergeant
I'm
says,
ready to
"I
go
say
fight
we
him right
fight
now."
him.
Oh my
I'm with
God!
Song.
yes, Sarshan, let's do that.
What's the worst that could happen?
Stop feeding off each other right now.
Well,
I clasp
We don't know.
Sarshan's
if you
hand.
go in and lie to him,
He clasps your arm and you
catches
do the
Oh my
flex.
God.
Yes.
It's like, I'm just gonna let you guys do this for a minute.
I mean, remember what happened when we faced the Night King? We ended up in an astral plane and an astral behemoth, and then I mean, it's been crazy. Let's not even. I can't even imagine facing like whatever he is. It sounds like
But
he's.
we
a
can't just
demigod
let
or a
Artemisia
minor
go by
god.
herself and put herself back in his power.
But
I
the first
will
thing we
keep
need
her
to
away from him.
establish- The first thing we need to establish is whether he can bleed. If he can bleed, he can
Okay.
die.
Starshin, I need you to stop chiming in with this.
Yes,
Not gonna
mistress.
fight him. Oh my god, stop that. 100%.
Oh,
You're not allowed to do that.
Cecilia, can't we just fight him this once?
We don't even know what that means. What if he's 10 times as tough as the Night King? We couldn't beat the Night King.
Well, we
Aye,
weren't
that's
well
what we
figured
rested,
this
and
out.
we were weaker then.
Cecilia makes a good point, Sarshan says.
Okay.
Friend Song, I am sorry. I cannot join you on this foolhardy crusade.
Besides, I brought this on myself.
And then he goes and stands
No,
by
no.
Cecilia. He says, You are
No.
correct. We should think about this before we jump in with both feet.
Artemisia, I wish I could cast greater restoration on your heart, but alas, it does not. work that way.
Aww.
Can't go
No,
back to
I-
him, Artemisia.
But the choices have consequences.
You know
And-
what?
Can we not use your connection to him to gain more information? Ruin says.
It depends. Is he gonna catch her? Like if you walk in and say, "Oh no, baby, everything's fine," and he's like, "Yeah, I can tell you're lying. You're trapped there." Like, how do we protect you? How do we make sure that's not a thing? Have you lied to him before? Has it worked?
Don't remember.
I have a spell called Magic Circle, which protects, but only lasts for an hour. But maybe there's something similar to that in Mirren's that is stronger that we could use to protect her. Like, or if we could find Mirren, maybe she would know of a more powerful version of that spell. But like, of course, then I don't know. We wouldn't want Artemisia to have to like sit inside of a
Okay.
circle forever. That's not going to solve it. Never mind.
You know?
She would notice that.
Okay. So it sounds like first steps, we get to Mirren's tower, be safe there, and we can figure out more information. Because if you can lie to him, then that is a good way to find out more. But if you can't, like, this, you didn't do this. Like, he came after you. What were you supposed to know? Like, you're supposed to say on your first date, "Oh, Lord Gold, are you a 10,000-year-old elf demon?" That's not a normal problem.
Exactly. Choices have consequences.
Exactly. Right?
But you make your
Yes.
choices based on the information you have, and if you you make your best choices you could on the information that you had. You can't blame yourself for what you don't know.
But
Okay.
but what if he hurts any of you?
But what if he hurts you and you're by yourself without the
Aye.
rest of us?
We stand better a chance together than apart.
We have healing magic. Sarshan adds helpfully.
Aye.
Cecilia face palms helpfully.
It's just- yeah, that is true.
And
Actually
however
true.
powerful Wilton is, he's no more powerful than Sharindlar. I can guarantee you that. Worst case, I'll just ask Sharindlar to kick his butt.
I mean,
really-
Sharindrar better get in line because I'm first.
It says you can do that, Rogar.
Well, I mean, I can ask.
I'm mad enough to do it right now.
She's more likely
Yeah,
to,
let's
like,
go.
I don't know, maybe heal or protect the, or turn him towards a healthier love or something. But I don't know. I can't
seen
guess
us-
the ways of a god. But
Psychiatry time.
I have seen us growing in power, Ruin says. I think that, we might be able to hold our own or at least get away. Right? Well, what other choice do we have exactly?
We could see if the Night King would join us in an attack against him. Maybe he's got the Night King under his thumb.
I don't trust the Night King,
Oh.
Ruin says. The last time we had anything to do with the Night King, I got stabbed a couple of times. And so did my sister.
He's also our enemy. I don't want to work with any of our enemies.
we could maybe turn them against each other to whatever extent we can.
We
Ilra and
destroy all
Mirren.
monsters, Lilton.
Aye.
but it is very important that we go to Mirren's, and so we can do that. And
That
then
seems like a good
from there.
first step, Ruin says.
Okay, so there's one other thing that I should tell you guys that makes this hopefully not a whole lot more complicated.
There's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Sarshan like touches Cecilia's hand supportively.
So when you found that letter and I said there was nobody hiding in Briar House and that there was nothing to worry about, I wasn't being entirely forthcoming.
What?
So the bottom of that letter has a message that I'm almost completely sure is from my father. And I think that he is going to show up.
That's wonderful.
no.
It's really not.
Sarshan growls a little bit.
He's not a good guy. And
As
he's
an
a-
aside, is it ever wonderful if any of our parents show up? I don't think it's ever been.
Artemisia's dad is a
That's true.
stand-up dude.
No, my
Okay.
parents are
We are-
great.
all right.
Too.
Don's got
Yeah.
normal orc parents. Well,
Okay.
orc and something.
Question
parent.
mark.
Right.
Do you even know your
Question mark
dad?
parent.
I do.
Or just Stong feels very
It'll be a
confident he's
surprise.
good?
It'll be a nice surprise.
Well, no, I was wondering if Stong actually knew his father. He does.
He does. He does.
He does. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. I was like, you're just very optimistic, especially considering all the examples are. You're like, well, odds are mine can
Uh,
also be terrible. But
I
anyway,
get my optimism from my dad.
so I'm pretty sure he's coming. I'm pretty sure he's looking for me. And you guys should know he's a pretty powerful enchanter. He is not someone you want to mess with.
Maybe we could send him against Lilton.
I mean, I would love that. Like, there's no way that ends that isn't amazing. As far as I can see.
But in the meantime, it sounds like we need to get you someplace safe and Artemisia someplace safe.
But you should not talk to him if you can help it. He's
How could we not? If he speaks to us, what?
Yeah,
what
how do we
should-
know it's him?
okay, so I mean, we have the same accent.
He'll charm us. Is that what you're saying?
He'll charm you. Yes. I'm
Oh.
also Cecilia. I think Cecilia would assume immediately that if Lazar shows up, he will be dressed as Brahmyani. However, she's not 100% sure if he will have his like regalia on him. But if you see someone in a mask, that's a good kicker, right? See someone in a mask, that's the guy you need to stay away from.
What does that
Yeah.
mean? When they wear a mask?
What?
What does it mean if he's wearing a mask? What does
Like
that?
this, and she just pulls out the wood mask and she puts it on her face. Like
In his case, what should it tell me?
he's a masked wizard.
I mean, she
Do I
said.
know about masked wizards? I'm not sure.
You
I mean,
probably
don't. As a player, I don't.
So in that case, Cecilia will be like, take it off and be like, okay. So in Rashomon, spellcasters, they run things. The witches run things. And there's the Iron Lord, but let's all be real. He's a figurehead. The Wicklerin are running things. Men who have magic are Brahmyani, and they make weapons.
Okay.
So mark yourself, you wear a mask. My dad makes weapons. He's a very powerful enchanter. Not a good dude. He's really mad at me.
Why?
We don't need to get into that.
Okay, but so when you say
He's bad. He's a bad person. That's it.
when you say enchanter, do you mean he enchants weapons, not he charms and makes suggestions?
No, he does that.
Oh.
He does it all.
So he's kind of like a male version of Artemisia's stepmom. It sounds like. I mean, like
Isn't
he
she a divination?
messes with your head.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
divination magic.
And she's
I don't know.
in
I think
everybody's
Lilton
head.
reminds me a lot of him. So
So maybe Artemisia's stepmom was more like, I can read your mind, and he's like, I can play with your mind.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That sounds like a terrible combination. We should not allow them to be together. Darcy says.
Lies each other.
What?
I
That
have
is-
met Artemisia's stepmother, and she is dangerous.
Oh my god, that will be the worst.
Oh, then you two would be sisters. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Is that how that works? Darshan says.
But shouldn't we get to Mirren's
Gonna
tower?
pat
Like,
his hand, like, okay.
because
Yeah.
Littleton could spot Artemisia any moment.
Cecilia, if Rogar and Ruin were to get married, that we would be.
Everybody's
So-
slowly becoming related.
So Narcy shows up and she says, "Well, are we ready to get back underway? I've saddled all the horses, all by myself."
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
kind of
See, thanks for taking
you.
care of those little plot hiccups, let's say.
Well, I'm a ranger. That's what I do. Badger, away!
Yep,
All right.
Artemisia's getting up on her horse. She's
Yep.
still got her wineskin with her.
You get back on the road and you arrive at Westgate toward the end of the day. So the sun is setting over the Westgate itself, as it were, and you can see the torches burning, starting to be lit for the night watch. You rode past the rubble that was Bleth Castle outside the city. It does not appear that anyone has been rebuilding it.
Ooh.
Sarshan says, "Oh, that place looks familiar." You do see smoke rising over multiple parts of the city.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
And isn't there?
Are there more adventurers adventuring in this town?
Mostly over the east end of the city.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Does
Mhm.
Stong know like what the East End is made of? Like, is that the industrial district? Is that
wood and stone? The east end is where the Shao primarily live in the city. Westgate. Okay, for viewers who haven't seen all the episodes, Westgate is kind of a ethnically segregated city to some extent. The Shao, who are people from the east, moved to Westgate during the upheavals of the last century. A great many of them, and they mostly rule the east end of the city. So you see the influence of their architecture and culture on that part of the city more than elsewhere in Westgate.
See Randy's background.
Yeah.
I sent
Yeah.
the picture to Yinging too if you wanted to put it up. But yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that'd be cool. I like that picture a lot. It really shows the duality of the city, separated by the bridge over the River Thun. So, yeah, the fires and smoke are mostly pouring out of the east end of the city. Guards immediately stop you as you're approaching the gate, and they say, "Hail, a pleasant eve to you, adventurers."
Hail.
And then
Hi.
they're looking at you and they're like, "Oh, is that Lady Tara around? I recognize."
Yes. She's gonna ride up to the front.
Good.
Ah,
Walk up behind her.
you're welcome back to the city, my lady. Things have been difficult in your absence. We are glad to see you returned. I have instructions to see you immediately inside and to offer escort if you wish. The streets are somewhat more dangerous than they have been in the past.
An escort to meet with whom?
Escort to wherever you wish. The instructions were not specific about any meeting. Do you have an
okay.
appointment of some kind that you wish to us to escort you to?
No.
One of them is like looking around at Cecilia, who you have the mask on.
Sure.
Okay. Cecilia, you get the sense from his expression that you have maybe a reputation as being a little bit dangerous and mysterious, because
Good.
he's like, ooh.
Well, we are going to Dark Dance Manor,
Oh, okay. Very well.
and there is no need of an escort. But any who ask after us can know this information.
And we'll find you there. Very well.
Yes.
Take care, my lady.
Do we want
I
people
need to tell him where we were going. He's gonna pass it back to Wilson.
So the
I'm-
guards move
He's
aside
like,
to
I
let
want him
you.
to know.
Let you go into
It's
the
like,
city.
I want my party invitations, but at the same time, the bad people will know where we are too.
No. What's going on in Artemisia's head is that something in Artemisia knows that Lilton, he already knows. So like she doesn't remember, but there's no point worrying about it getting back to him. So
The rest of us are like, oh, Artemisia is like really stressed and flaky, I guess.
Behold, Westgate.
Ruin is keeping a close eye on Artemisia as you're going into the city.
Art by Eric Belial, who did it originally for Eric's
Dragon Magazine.
Dragon.
Yeah, my Westgate backdrop article for the 4E version of Westgate. It looks very similar, although the water would have risen somewhat since the 4E iteration.
No, all those houses got washed away.
There are a number of houses in Westgate that did get drowned underwater when the Sea of Fallen Stars rose once again. The so-called Tide Town was basically swallowed up by the sea once again. So there's a great adventure site for aquatic dungeon crawling. All right.
They're called
So,
lives now.
well, all right. So you get back into the city. It doesn't look all that different in how people are going about their business. They're just doing it a little bit faster. Like they're moving about their business expediently to get back into their houses and stuff. This is also a thing that happens, in the evening in Westgate. People bolt up their doors and get inside immediately
Not
when
really a
the
place
sun
to hang
sets.
out.
Right.
It isn't? All the vampires and things?
Right. Anyway, Dark Dance Manor is located sort of near the center of the city, just east of the market. So you're gonna head that way?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, even if she's like leaving people behind, Artemisia, like she seems to be feeling this sense of urgency, and so even though we're getting closer, like she keeps like speeding up, like it's going somewhere. But she's gonna get there. She's got to get there.
Stone would like to peer around and see if anybody's following us.
I
Make a perception check.
19.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, of course there are people following you.
Are they fans or pickpockets or big bad evil guys?
Make an insight check, Song.
Oh, Stong is very
Ooh, we got
insightful.
raiders.
Looks like Raiders just showed up. Hello, Raiders. Welcome.
11.
11. You have no idea.
Yeah, they're just people.
They don't really stand out as threatening. Just probably like information sellers and that kind of thing. People follow around important looking people in Westgate. It's just kind of how it goes.
They've got some really great watches they want to sell us.
Would you like to buy a wand? All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't buy wands out of guys' shirts. That's
Used
a
by
terrible
Elminster
plan.
himself.
Oh, Elminster.
That's how you get a stick with some glitter on it.
Sargent says, yes, I have made that mistake myself.
Seems like a powerful magical wand. Why would he lie to me?
And Ruin clearly has too. And Ruin like is clutching his birch stick and he's like, stick.
Oh. All right.
All right.
We
You
need to
arrive back at
Manor.
Dark Dance Manor. You see that it is under construction. There are people repairing it. Benches, tables set with stone cutting equipment, that sort of thing. The gate has been basically hammered back together, and its face, which is a little lopsided, is together on the gate once more.
Wake up the gate.
Oh, what was
Who
the
likes
password?
gate? Who does the gate like? Because I know he doesn't like everybody.
I don't know if it
think
likes
it's
me
really-
right now.
I got through once saying Bogglewomp. I remember that.
Hello, adventurers.
Maybe
Hello.
it likes Mirabelle.
You're looking better.
Thank you.
Can we come in?
I have been instructed to permit Lady Artemisia to roam through.
Oh, so I actually just picked up the mend cantrip. So could I mend his mouth so it talks normally?
Sure, you could try.
Okay, I'm gonna try to mend his face.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to repair you.
Ah, that feels much better. Thank you.
Can we come in?
Nice job, Strong.
Yes, I recognize Artemisia Tararon with you. You may come in. His face splits down the middle and just opens the gate.
Who do you think said Artemisia could come in, but not the rest of us?
Oh no. Are we walking into a trap?
Artemisia isn't going to hang around. She's going to go and see if she can find some workers. Or is there just their stuff?
Now's not the time, Artemisia. I know they look all sweaty and buff, really good in their works, but come on now.
That's not her jam.
No.
When last you were inside Mirren Darkdance's manor, it was under attack by the Night Mass and the Night King. When last you saw the manor, it was perhaps a 10-day or two later, and it was in ruins. Like, obviously, the battle had been major, and there was a lot of damage. Now it is being repaired, and there are a number of workers, laborers, who are fitting new stone. They're rebuilding the tower. They seem like just kind of like muscular, salt of the earth, Westgate folk. Yeah, you can go up to one of them. You
Yes.
see one of them appears to be kind of the foreperson of the build. They look at you. Oh,
Yes, I was wondering.
You're Lady Tararon, aren't you?
I am. Who is directing you in your work here?
I'm in charge.
And who engaged you for this task?
Orders came through the guild. I didn't. I don't really know. You'd have to inquire there, I suppose. I had assumed that it was you, actually.
Why would you assume that?
Well, he shows you a letter, and with a picture of you in the letter. And the work order that he shows you says to effect repairs of Darkdance Manor in expectation of the arrival of Artemisia Tararon. And it's written in very nice sculpted handwriting.
Gold ink.
That could be yours. Isn't, but it could be.
Oh man.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
obviously an elf or someone versed in the elven alphabet would have written this.
You know, Stong, I think this Lilton guy might not be as bad as everyone makes him out to be. I mean,
Sturge, don't let him trick you. Look what he did to two of our friends.
What exactly did he do, though? Think about it. I mean, what? I don't know. Not really
Any of us hear this?
I mean,
Besides Dog.
no, I'm done.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yo, you roll me a persuasion, buddy. You roll me a persuasion. Let's hear this. Let's see this. Let's do this right now.
Put your dice
do
where your
this.
mouth is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on D&D Beyond for the first time here. How do I roll on D&D Beyond?
You click one of the squares that's next to the name of the skill. Just that easy.
Why, that's quite easy.
They're not even
You
our
should become a
sponsor, I
mountain
swear.
dwarf.
Wait, persuasion, there it is. Square? There's no square.
There should be a square with like the number, like a plus, or
Yeah,
minus, whatever your
yeah.
skill is. Yeah, click
Did
that.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now where does
A
I'm not
version-
as persuasive as I might have been. I wasn't
Classic D&D. How do I roll my dice? I don't know.
I just thought the sense of what I was saying would be persuasive enough. Look, I was just noticing that. I just happened to notice that really, so far, nothing really bad has actually happened. It's just, maybe that's just coincidence. Maybe it's just we're waiting for the other boot to fall. I don't know.
Look, don't let him trick you. He's got his charming outward-facing face that he shows the rest of us, and then he's got his manipulative, memory-wiping, friend-marking
No.
self.
He didn't wipe my memory. That was Oh, I know who did that. It wasn't him. He could lift it, though. He's
Who
powerful.
did that, Sarshan says.
Sarshan just rolls up in the middle of this private conversation.
Ah,
Hey,
you want to keep your
Sarshan.
secret. I
Oh, man.
understand.
I don't want to give her any more attention than she deserves.
He grasps your arm. Friend Sturge. Cecilia has imparted to me a great and important truth. Secrets are harmful to keep inside and not share. If you can tell us the secret, you should. I have many secrets that I cannot reveal, and it pains me.
Like what?
Oh, so it pains me.
Like what secrets?
Go ahead.
I couldn't say.
Disburden yourself.
I mean, yeah, you're saying it hurts you. I don't want you to be hurt, friend.
I don't either. I think you should, bro. Let it go. Let it
Yeah,
go.
you
Right
can tell
here.
us all your secrets. Okay, so Strong's
I
gonna
have
animate.
tried to share certain secrets, and it has indeed caused me pain. You see, I labor under a curse. Ruin says, yeah, he's telling the truth. He is cursed.
You know, the sword said that Lilton could lift my curse. I wonder if he could lift yours.
Truly.
I mean, if we're going to get entangled with this guy, we might as well get something out of it.
Perhaps Artemisia can manipulate him to do what we wish.
I'm sure
Sarshan.
Ah, sister.
makes him dance like a puppet.
What are you guys talking about?
Secrets are poison.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Would Artemisia have heard the part about like asking Lilton
Sure.
for help?
It's not like Sarshan's very quiet.
um,
Why are
Sarshan,
we whispering?
Because we're talking about secrets.
Secrets are poison. Ah.
The floor is
Oh
lava.
my god.
he threatened you. You
What's
shouldn't.
where?
What's that,
um,
Artemisia?
Wilton threatened all of you and some of you in specific, and so you have to be careful.
What? How? Why? What did he say he was going to do?
It never mind.
No, don't say never
Okay.
mind.
Leave her alone. She knows he threatened. And guys, this feels really kinky.
What?
Somebody's paying for this and saying
Oh,
it's
thank you.
Artemisia.
Yeah, what does he keep it?
Sorry.
Strong
this
wants to make a
seems
knowledge
very
roll.
Strange.
Who would know that she would be
Sorry.
here? Doesn't that require like divination? So is this your stepmother?
I don't know if she has that kind of money.
We know one person who's involved with Artemisia who's plenty of money and wants to impress. I don't know. I'm impressed. I'm
Sturge.
Oh my
sorry.
god. Okay. We should do the things we need to do here. I don't know how safe it is.
No,
Sturge,
we need
scout ahead.
we need to stay here. It's all it.
Yeah.
This it feels like we should be here. I'm sure of it.
So the workers are finishing up. Like most of them are leaving. The four-person is still there, just going over some more notes and plans.
well, Artemisia is going to stop off and say basically like, "Good job. I'm here now. Keep me apprised."
Oh yes, the living chambers were the first that we repaired, so they are ready for your use. And the old
Excellent.
seneschal is still here. He wouldn't leave, in
Okay.
fact. we tried to tell him it was dangerous, but he just stayed.
I
Doesn't
shall
say much
go
either,
meet with him then.
of course. No need to pay us. We've already been paid, obviously. Fair evening to you. And then he packs up the papers and scrolls and heads off.
Is
Union
going
hours.
to intercept Artemisia before she does anything like that, by the way. Anything about going to talk to the seneschal, whose name I've forgotten.
Eliver is his name. He's a very, very old dwarf.
He and
Who
Varys
is
would get
both
along.
blind and mute.
Oh.
Rogar goes to Sturge like, "You seem very eager to get inside, and since you are, maybe you could scout ahead a bit and see if it's safe." You're the sneaky one.
Were you talking to me? I'm sorry. I was wondering. I was I was just going through the 10 Commandments and thinking, has Lilton forced any of us to do those things?
The what?
You know, it's the never mind.
Commandments?
He hasn't
George
forced
is
anyone to
losing it.
murder. He hasn't forced Artemisia to commit murder. Hasn't made her steal anything. He hasn't forced her to speak badly about her parents.
Those seem arbitrary, Sargent says.
George, just
He hasn't forced her to bear false witness against her.
Come along, Serge. Let us go scout together.
All right.
And I shall tell you more about how secrets are poison.
When you share a secret with me, I'll disburden one of mine.
I shall share many secrets with you, my friend.
I don't like this.
There are ways to hurt people that do not leave wounds.
Don't
Sir.
worry,
What's the
Cecilia. None
subtext
of them
here?
will be about you.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, we're gonna sneak in.
You okay?
She's gonna say to Artemisia.
Yeah.
I should have specified. I can't tell where I'm looking on the screen. And also, I don't think Rhiannon's where I'm looking on this.
Well, I will be fine for now. We can deal with what we need to deal with, and then later I can figure out something to make things better somehow. Are you all right?
She's
You
gonna-
and
What?
you and Sarshan, you looked pretty like beat up after the goblins, and
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
okay.
I'm sorry. Maybe you were right. Maybe I was a little jealous. But I didn't realize it.
Well, I'm glad that you realize it now. That I'm sure it helps. I mean, I kind of suspected, but
What?
well, I mean, he was carrying you in his arms and you didn't punch him.
That's a really good point.
That's a giveaway.
I don't think Cecilia likes knowing she's off it.
So Ruin kind of sidles up and he says, "That is a good point.
You, I need to talk to.
I need to talk to you as well. What a
I have-
great
okay.
coincidence that is."
1 second. So she's gonna
Of
grab
course.
Artemisia's hand. She's gonna say, "I want to try something because I think you need this. I've been trying to watch how you do your magic. I think this will work." And she is going to try and teach you counterspell by doing woo-woo pull on your weave channel stuff.
Excellent.
Hand waving.
Actually, Artemisia like relaxes a little, like doing magic and not doing magic the way that her stepmother does magic, where like you're looking in the book and you're memorizing the thing and then you're meditating and the meditation doesn't work. So doing magic this way, like Artemisia seems to very slightly unclench, and gets it reasonably quickly, hand wavingly.
So
Yeah.
if you see
Artemisia
him,
is very talented at magic. You could say she's a natural born prodigy.
so if you see him, anybody, they're casting, you fire that off and it will solve the spell.
Okay.
I think it would be very handy against all these people showing up trying to control your thoughts.
Thank you. I
She's still
appreciate it.
holding Artemisia's hand and she's gonna give a sisterly squeeze.
Dong is watching from the back.
Do
holding
not
Mirabelle.
leave this tower alone. Deal?
Deal. I think I understand. You talked about leaving sometimes, and after being a wolf, and I wanted to run, and I did, and it made things worse and messed things up. But like that's just even being me and not being a wolf at all. I still, but I wanted to run here, and I'm here, and so maybe things are going to be better because I'm here. I'm still not going to be a wolf, but I'm here.
You give her a
So-
hug.
Ooh, I wonder if Lilton can't find you when you're a wolf. Oh no, you've got the bracelet when you're a wolf.
And I
excited for a
wouldn't,
minute.
I don't want to feel so out of control. So I'm not going to do that again.
Because of the nose thing. I don't like the nose thing.
No, I had to run. I had to run.
Oh.
Did you not?
I didn't get that.
Oh,
I got no ability to control my legs properly and too much noise in my face.
yeah, that was a lot, but
Just
running.
right. Yeah.
Huh.
She's actually gonna look at Ruan now and be like, "It's the running
Teacher?
that is it because of me? Like I'm not as good at being a wolf."
No, that's natural for a wolf.
It sounds like you're better at being a wolf.
Maybe you're just different at being a wolf.
I mean,
Like you give into the wildness inside you, and Cecilia is more in control of herself and her impulses,
Whoa. What?
I mean,
which is strange because I was trying to teach you to be in control of your impulses, and somehow that idiot, talking about Sargent, taught our sister to be in control of hers. I don't understand how that worked exactly.
It doesn't make sense to me either, but it's moot. I'm not going to be a wolf at all, so whatever.
She's gonna take Artemisia's hand with the ring because I can still see the ring, right?
Correct.
And nobody else can see the ring.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just you and Artemisia, to your knowledge.
Okay, like solve this. We can get rid of the ring. I think Cecilia wants to suggest we could chop your finger off, but I think she knows Artemisia will not go for that.
No.
We'll save that one in case it comes down to it. And she's gonna point out, like, this thing. This is the kind of thing my dad can do if we have to. I don't think we should do it lightly.
Well,
But
could
it's a
I
contingency.
could I make some kind of deal with him and leave you out of it so you don't have to deal with him at all?
I don't know, man.
He's really good at figuring stuff like that out.
I mean,
Contingency. I
okay.
just don't want you to feel like there's nothing we can do.
Thank you.
I have another contingency, but I'm not going to tell you about it right now.
I can
I would-
try and assist in holding off enchantments, Ruin says.
That is helpful.
It's very foreign. It's intrusive. If one embraces one's primal nature, it's much harder to enchant over it.
Huh. Interesting.
So I should be a wolf?
Maybe.
But no, it really, really hurt.
It's
when it
much
was
easier
the
to
bracelet.
charm a person than to charm a monster, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Are you calling us monsters?
Aren't we all monsters?
This is some first year philosophy happening here.
Yeah. So I think Stong in the back whispers to Mirabelle, "You're not a monster. Neither am I. Don't
Aw.
listen to your uncle."
All right.
Let me rephrase. It's easier to charm a person than a beast.
You'd think it would be the other way around. Yeah. Also, I'm not there.
Unless one is musical. Is Lilton musical?
No, not that
Okay.
I know of.
Oh, okay, well, I'm sure we're fine then.
I am picturing Lilton like singing in a tavern akin to Stong and just going like, oh god.
I imagine Gaston like that exact
it is
musical
like that.
number.
It is a
Yeah.
lot like that.
And Rogar's not there, and he doesn't remember the ring, so he can't suggest it. But if you heard him suggesting to Sturge that he could remove the curse and the attunement to that object with greater restoration, it might occur to you to ask Rogar.
Cecilia suddenly remembers he can remove spells with greater restoration.
Curses.
Maybe we try that first. curses.
Perfect.
So then maybe you can take it off. It just seems like you should be able to level the playing field a little bit here.
Ruin says,
Yours
do not
comes
worry,
off.
sister. We shall protect you. And you and me and all of us. We'll protect all of us, Ruin says.
Plan. Run, let's
Oh.
walk and talk. Sorry, finish.
I
Cecilia,
think we should.
Yes.
important. I didn't want to say it in front of the others, but it was Sarshan specifically and you that Lilton was threatening. So, like, protect each other, okay? Please, for me.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Why is that a secret?
No, I don't know.
Well,
I can think of some reasons.
the reason that Artemisia didn't want to blurt it out is because that she assumes that Lilton thought she was attracted to Sarshan, and she doesn't want to like throw that into the mix.
Okay.
Still want to beat him up.
Okay. So, Ruin and Cecilia are going to go off and talk. Sturge and Sarshan, you have infiltrated the manor house. It's full of blankets set down, ladders, tools for rebuilding. The library, most of the books have been removed, and there's like this big crate full of books in the corner, away from where the weather might be dripping on them. You do see that big hole in the roof is dripping water down through it, because it was clearly raining earlier today. Sarshan says, do you think there might be enemies here? He pulls out his sword out of nowhere. It just materializes.
No, I don't.
Then why are we scouting ahead? You wish to impart a secret to me, do you not, Sturge? I understand where this is going. I am flattered.
All right,
Truly, I am.
here we go.
You seem to be a noble man. But I already have a partner.
Oh, no, don't worry. I will trade a secret with you.
I didn't mean romantically. I mean, I do have a romantic partner. I didn't think you were interested in me romantically,
No, I'm not.
because I was paying attention to the previous conversation about that.
What are you referring to then? A partner in what?
It's not important. I promised I wouldn't tell any secrets about her. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Trading secrets. You go first.
Right.
The curse that you bear comes from...
I couldn't say.
See, this is really boring.
No, it would trigger the curse.
Pardon me?
It would trigger the curse.
Oh, what would happen?
My brain would start melting.
But
That's what Cecilia explained to me happened the first 2, 3, 4 times I tried.
Okay.
And I have sworn not to do so again.
What secret can you impart before I impart who laid the curse on me?
I am bound not to speak of a particular individual. Anything related to that individual, I cannot speak of that, of any of that. What is your curse like?
Oh,
Are you also bound not to speak of someone or something?
in a way, indirectly, because I have this being erased bunches of memories from my brain.
How cruel.
Yes, and mysterious. Why? Why? What could I possibly know?
I really don't know.
Right. Well,
He doesn't understand rhetorical questions.
I confess, knowing I have looked for people who could remove this brain block.
Yes.
No one can. And the sword couldn't.
Would you like me to try?
No.
All right.
The sword.
I wouldn't use this. He shows you the burning sword. He dismisses it. It disappears back into the ether.
What would you use?
My powers.
I would welcome you to try. But even Cheverash couldn't remove it, or at least the elf in the sword, who I think is Cheverash, or an echo of him or something. I don't know. And my Baelnorn Grandam couldn't remove it.
You have
And-
a Baelnorn Grandam.
I do, and Mirren couldn't remove it.
This is so many secrets, Sturge. I feel shortchanged, or you're shortchanged. I don't
No.
understand how that phrase works, actually.
I still haven't named the creature that did this to me.
Oh, that's true.
But I confess, learning that Lilton could is very intriguing.
Get the sense this is a dangerous individual.
Yes, but he hasn't shown us the evil side yet. So far, he's only been charming and generous.
I see.
I'm sure there'd be a cost, but good Lord, how long has Artemisia been with this fellow and he hasn't done anything awful?
To
She
our knowledge.
remembers.
There's the kicker.
Well, I distrust anyone who might be manipulating Artemisia.
Yes, I do need to learn some more about that. And I do resent anyone who fucks with my memories, and he definitely did that. So-
Well,
That makes me pause. That's the only thing.
we shall rain down retribution
Even his
upon him.
name. Yeah.
Is he the one who bound your memories? Is that
No.
the secret you wish to tell me?
No, but
No, there's someone else.
he's messing with all
Sargent
of
starts
our
looking
memories.
confused.
This whole thing about a ring, the only reason we know about it is because Cecilia found a way to remember.
Aha. Cecilia is very clever. This tracks.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go call the others. It's clear. Come up.
Oh, I am supposed to tell you a secret.
Yes. What is it?
I can't say this for sure. So maybe I should ask your advice. I mean, you seem like you would know.
All right.
What does it mean to love someone?
Oh.
And on that note, we're going to take our break.
Asking Sturge of all people.
Well, he's
Oh my god,
like one of 6 people he could ask.
that's true.
So,
Excellent.
I will say, just before we go to our break, it has started to rain more, and there's thunder and lightning, and it illuminates a cloaked figure standing outside the gate. And we'll
Every
see
time.
the identity of
We
this
should
person
close,
after the break.
Right? We closed the gate, right?
Yeah.
Gate
Did
is
the gate close
yes.
itself?
It is closed, yes. All right. So we're going to go to our break. Stephen, I'm going to offer you the chance to commune with the sword during our break like we often do, or we could just take a few minutes and then come back together as a whole group. Stephen, what do you say?
What would I ask? I haven't.
All right. Well, audience, we'll see what happens. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Get the timer ready, Yang Yang, and we'll see you all back in 5 minutes. Hey, hail and well met. We're back. Some of us are back. Most of us are back. All of us are
We're
back.
back.
We're all
Anyway,
back.
We're all back.
Great.
Excellent.
Hey.
Hey, perfect.
It's great to be back.
It's good. It's good to be back. Thank you all for taking a slightly shorter break. Stephen couldn't decide on any good questions for the sword, apparently, but the
Not yet.
chat is coming up with some good recommendations. So we're going to keep a log of that for the next time he communes with the sword. I'm sure the sword has excellent recipes for the perfect chocolate souffle, and it knows exactly how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Nice
Ooh.
hustle, Rich. That's my
I'm
favorite.
I'm in suspense. I need to know these answers.
But we're going to go to Cecilia and Ruin, because I'm pretty sure everyone wanted to see how that conversation was going to go.
I'm very interested.
Ruin seems to be a bit nervous, but he's doing his best to be present. So, sister, hello.
Hey, who are you talking to?
Well, I'm talking to you, of course.
In the fake room.
Oh. His eyes narrow slightly. He says, well, that depends.
What? How?
It depends on how involved you want to be.
How involved am I already?
Not terribly. I mean, I don't think she'll come after you.
What? Are you
Our
in
mother.
trouble? Whoa. I thought you left her.
I did, but she is possessive. And I wanted to make sure she would not come after me or you or our other sister.
Why would she do that?
She's difficult to predict, difficult to understand.
Yeah, I
but
got
you have
that one.
become very powerful, and that is tempting to her. And so I thought I would determine if she was searching for us.
So did you find her? Were you talking to her?
No, I was talking to a friend of mine from the Fey Wild. A contact.
I feel like I'm a little confused, Rowan.
Okay.
If she doesn't know about me or Artemisia,
Why wouldn't she know about you or Artemisia?
why does she care about me and Artemisia?
You're
She
very
ditched
powerful,
us.
like I said.
Okay, so we're a bunch of other people. But she doesn't care about Stong,
Yes,
Didn't
but
care
you
about
are of her
Surge.
blood.
as far as I know.
He looks around. She never wanted to part with you.
What?
Leaving you with Lazar was never really her plan.
Okay. When was that?
It wasn't mine either, if that's what you're asking.
Ron, this is really confusing.
Sorry, I'm trying to be honest and here for you and supportive, but I'm not sure I should. It's not really my story to tell.
Okay, whose story is it?
And it's at that moment that you hear banging at the gate.
Well, that's bad news.
Inconvenient banging.
Definitely acting up.
How far away is
Let me
Okay.
see who's there.
We have learned a whole lot of nothing tonight.
Hey, you shared a lot of information with each other. That's a lot. That's a
Tonight we've
lot.
learned
a lot
a
for
banging
us.
on a door interrupts my sentence.
All right. Well, it interrupted him before he could say before he said anything else, and he's happy for the interruption. Anyway, your walk has led you fairly close to the gate. In fact, and you can see that there is someone outside the gate. It is now pouring rain, and there's a cloaked person outside the gate, and he's obviously a male figure. Is kind of shaking the gate.
Kind of like hold Ruan back, like we don't want to be a target here. We're closed.
How far is the gate?
And it's like across the courtyard, so it's several hundred feet away from the entrance,
Do you think if I shot up an Eldritch Blast, you guys would see it?
like a flare.
like
a
the
flare.
bat signal.
Yeah.
The Cecilia signal. And
The Irregulars
120
assemble.
feet.
spreads out, becomes like a witch.
Ooh, it's the shape of your
don't-
mask.
Feel like I want to anybody who's trying to get in here seems like they're going to be bad.
The
All up to
person-
Ruan. He tends to turn into an animal and run away. So
the man
Eldritch
banging on the
Blast
gate.
Flare. See if
Yeah.
anybody sees it.
It briefly illuminates the face of the man banging on the gate, and it's kind of covered by a cowl, but he looks up at the flare and he looks back down and he says, Ilya, is that you?
Whoa.
And Ruin looks over at you.
Oh no.
Okay. What do I roll to make sure this isn't a trick?
Insight. Conveniently wisdom-based skill.
Wait, do you recognize who this is?
Maybe it's a 19.
Oh, you got a 19?
Yeah, the doppelganger.
That voice sounds real familiar. And I mean, it could be a doppelganger. It's kind of hard to tell until they're close up, and you can do an investigation check to see if they're. Yeah.
So he is very paranoid about doppelgangers now. Okay,
I've come so far to find you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Ruin looks over you like,
But are Sebastian?
yeah, that's whose voice that is. Slightly older, but yeah, same voice. Ruin says, "Should I get my stick out?" And his stick turns into the shillelagh.
Buddy, you can have your stick out whenever you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What? What's the
All right.
subtext here? What's happening?
Ow.
No.
It's a spicy
He's
game.
got a stick. That's his weapon. A stick.
Okay.
Okay.
Rhymes with
I mean, I don't know.
So you can command the gate to open if you want to.
She's really not sure she
I
should.
caught that, Steven.
This seems like a trap.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. She's gonna ask the gate to open. The gate doesn't. She doesn't think the gate's necessarily gonna listen to her either, because the gate doesn't like her.
The gate splits and then opens,
Ooh.
revealing this cloaked and extremely damp person. Like he's been standing out in the rain for a while, and he kind of stumbles through a little weakly, and then looks up and from under his cowl is indeed Sebastian's face.
What? Okay.
He looks at Ruin for like a second, and then he runs up and he hugs Cecilia.
I don't know that I want this hug.
Oh, it's so good to see you after so long.
Okay.
Ruin looks at you like,
okay, we should go inside and make sure the gate is closed. And
yep, the gate starts closing behind
Okay.
him.
I don't. Why are you here?
Says, like I said, I came to find you.
Now the hell of a time.
And then
Okay.
he smiles weakly and then kind of like faints against you.
Convenient. God,
And Ruin's
Okay.
like, I just
help me.
he like grabs one arm and starts pulling him.
You weren't useful when you're a horse. Just haul him in.
Would you like me to become a horse?
No, come on, it's wet. Clean your feet out.
I can do better. He turns into a bear. And then he picks Sebastian up and kind of hobbles toward the entrance
On two legs?
on two legs,
Okay.
Circus.
Yeah, like a
bear.
circus bear.
like a circus bear.
Cecilia's just definitely thinking about,
Cecilia
trying
is
to
standing there in the
get
rain,
heck
thinking,
out of here.
But when do the rest of us get there? For
yeah, the gate,
flare.
I don't know.
the
I think
gate
none of you saw
slowly
my
closes.
flare. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go into Dark Dance Tower because I think that in the one hand Cecilia's like, well, time to go. But on
So
the other hand, like, what?
So I think you were all taking cover from the rain. You saw. Okay, I think Sarshan and Surge were off having their little heart-to-heart about hearts, and we'll say Stong and Rogar and Artemisia, you had a chance to see the flare.
Okay.
If you want to meet them out on the terrace, you certainly can. Out on the steps, you know.
So we know what this flare means? We've seen this before?
I mean, you know,
No,
it's
but you
Eldritch
recognize
Blast.
her Eldritch Blast, yeah.
I'm kind of operating under the assumption that you'll see me cast a spell and go, wait,
something's going down.
Yeah, it might be a battle. Should
Okay,
check it
so
out.
you see Cecilia approaching along with this bear that is carrying this unconscious person, hobbling on its back legs like a circus bear. It has Ruan's green eyes.
Did you remember to loot your foe after you finished him off?
It's not that.
It's your father. Did your father show up? You
That your dad?
No.
There's somebody else?
Listen, I did not expect this one.
So Sturge and Sarshan show up. They heard voices. And Sarshan's like, you've given me a great deal to think about, friend Sturge. And then he looks over and he goes, Cecilia, you have returned. Who is that?
That's Sebastian. We grew up together.
Oh,
Aha.
is that the one you told me about yesterday?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't.
Will
know
you
his
tell the
name.
rest of us?
I don't want to.
it's not good.
I'll
tell you later, Stomp.
I mean, if he's an enemy, I mean, we can end him right here and now.
Yeah, like grew up together like he bullied you, or like grew up together like you were close,
he was my
or-
boyfriend.
Whoa.
Sort of. But it
Don't
was
look
a
at
secret.
Sarshan. How does
Sarshan
Sarshan
looks
react?
confused.
And then
Sturge, friend Sturge. He leans over to Sturge. And like not whispering, because Sarshan doesn't whisper. What does boyfriend
oh
mean?
my god,
Is Sebastian able to hear all of this? Or?
he's out.
He's
cold,
unconscious.
Oh, okay. So I'll say, didn't you say he betrayed you though?
Yeah. He's the reason I had to leave Rashomon, kind of.
Ruan turns back into himself, holding Sebastian, and promptly goes, because it's too heavy.
I don't know why he's here. He said he was coming to find me, and I don't.
Can I put him down somewhere?
Well, come
There's a lot
inside.
of floor.
Well,
Okay.
Artemisia wants to like start opening doors to find like a room with a couch or something.
Well, there is Mirren's little like lounge area, which is on an earth moat in the middle of the room. That's the nearest couch, although it is surrounded by this curtain of water because there's a circular hole in the roof.
Yeah, let's go to the living quarters that the workers have already finished.
Going to discreetly, as they're like carrying him in there, I'm going to discreetly cast Detect Evil.
Okay.
Cecilia is hanging back. This is
We're just going to detect magic on this guy, too.
Cecilia.
And detect
Usually-
remorse and detect.
Funny.
No, just kidding.
It's funny. Serge always forgets that Cecilia can just detect magic at will, but you know, it's fine.
True.
appreciate the gesture.
So, detect evil and good. Is there an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you? No.
Is the guy glowing with magical glimmer?
He does seem to have some magical item, perhaps, in like a pouch on his
Uh-oh.
belt.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
No, guys, he's a wizard.
Yeah. Okay.
He also has a spell component pouch. Yes.
I wanted to make sure he wasn't somehow disguising himself like Fane is used to doing.
I do very much appreciate that.
And he's wearing 2 short swords. Or actually just one short sword. The other, there's a scabbard for a second, but he's only wearing one.
What is this guy? He betrayed you. How did he betray you?
So you lay him down. He's also injured, you determine.
Is it possible that he's in alignment with your father? Like, could he be?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Whatever
I feel like towards Sebastian, my father feels a lot more. And
Is he an
worse.
enemy? Sarshan asks.
I don't know.
Ah, so we shouldn't kill him before he awakes.
I don't know. That would be a
We
lot
should-
easier, but probably
Then I'll
not.
Heal him and then talk to him.
yeah,
shouldn't
I'll
we?
tend to his wounds.
I was gonna.
Very well, if you like. So, Rogar, you kind of unbutton his doublet there, and he has numerous burn wounds, which appear to like big bruises, which appear to be the mark of magic missiles. Like you recognize what those wounds look like, mostly because you got a friend who keeps slinging magic missiles at everybody.
Aye. And
Although it has been a few sessions since Artemisia has used magic missiles, so
it's true.
And I never hit
Oh,
anybody
about
because
Sturge.
magic missiles are
Not
great
any of
good
us.
at night.
Like,
Yeah.
not with magic
Yeah,
missiles.
she didn't hit any of your allies. She only
No.
hit enemies she was aiming at. Yes,
Exactly.
Aye.
which means whoever hit this guy with magic missiles meant to hit him with them.
Aye. That is-
Also, a minor note is Artemisia is like opening doors to find things and stuff. She doesn't know where anything is, but she is really acting like this place belongs to her. Like she lives here. It's kind of weird.
Very familiar with the place.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
will-
Yeah, I guess.
Right,
So
so
you
yeah,
can step out of the
Rogar, you
wall.
start tending his wounds.
Aye. I'll pray over him, pray for Sharinlar's grace to heal him, and a glow surrounds him briefly, and his wounds are healed for 19 points of damage.
All right, so his breathing becomes easier, and his heartbeat slows to a normal pace.
Cecilia is going to remove herself from this, and I think she has a lot of agitated energy.
Mhm.
Go pace in the hall for a minute.
And while I'm doing
Artemisia
that,
is gonna follow.
Follow
is-
Cecilia.
Yeah, follow Cecilia.
Okay.
Is this do you want to? Is this a thing you want to talk, or is this a thing you want to be alone?
Yeah, I want this thing to go back in the box. This is not. I don't know why he's here. And all I could think is that letter. As if the Wicklerin sent him, then like, or I don't know. I mean, it did not end well.
Well, we'll heal him, and then he'll wake up, and we'll ask him, and we'll be there, and you don't even have to talk to him if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't want you guys to talk to him either. Is that terrible? Ooh.
Well, I mean, it's you.
so tell us all your embarrassing baby stories.
I mean, yes, probably. That's a big part of it.
Like, don't want to be there because don't want to talk to him. Don't want to not be there because don't want him flapping his gums.
I wonder, he might. I'm sorry, I'm not there.
You could be. You want to stand around and watch him get healed?
You can intercede at any point, Stephen.
I wonder-
Sturge can come out of the room.
Church.
Yeah, you could surprise them if you wanted, because you're really stealthy.
He just unlurks, delurk. If we look in his things, if he would have wood cuts, I'm trying to think of a wood cuttings. What are those things that they make that they used to use before photographs? Wood block prints. Anyway.
Like
Okay.
emblems or insignias or
Like
something.
woodcuts, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I wonder if he would have any woodcuts of you and him in a bathtub together when you
Oh
were.
my god, no, that
Baby
definitely
cookie.
doesn't exist.
Baby. I wonder.
No,
It's not
I
the sort of
promise,
thing that
doesn't
people
exist.
cut into wood, Sarshan says,
Oh yes.
having come out of the healing room.
Now
Definitely
Starshin's
not
here
a
too.
Rashemi thing.
I see.
Such a woodcut must exist.
Perhaps this might be useful. He's holding the little pouch that Sebastian was wearing.
All right, let's see what's in it.
There is a wooden mask in it,
That makes sense.
which is indeed enchanted. You can tell with your handy dandy magic sight.
You got a good
Have we disarmed him? I know he's a wizard, but like, does he have any wands or obvious?
He had like
We
one
could
short
take his
sword.
He
spell
had one
components,
short
too.
sword and he had a
Okay.
spell component pouch.
He doesn't have a wand or anything.
Nope.
If one thing that's worth noting, if you look at his mask and Cecilia's mask are very similar.
So
Okay.
actually, Artemisia is gonna look at it and say, so, I assume there's like symbolism or like different patterns and stuff. Is this correct?
Like a mated
has-
set, Sarshan says.
Nope, not that.
I see.
Is he asleep? Is he gonna be asleep? Can I go to sleep?
You can go to sleep.
Rogar's still in
And
the
try
I guess
to go to
Rogar's the only
sleep.
person- I have
Rogar
stuff.
and I think Stong is still in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Stong will after Rogar's done healing him, he'll be casting like a silence zone over Sebastian. Sebastian?
Could be
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
This is
So that-
Rashemi.
Yeah, so that he can't like overhear
I'll
anybody
just
else's
write it in the
conversation.
chat.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm like casting silence over him so he can't overhear anybody else's conversation, and he can't also cast a spell if he just like wakes up and like tries to surprise us.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Rogar gives a mental high five to Stone.
I mentally receive it.
Excellent. Okay.
Sturgis
So
gonna-
that room becomes silent.
This is not the wild card we need right now.
I don't understand.
What wild card do we need? Sarshan says.
Ooh, like a Lilton melting spell would be great. That would be
Ooh.
primo.
Does one of Mirren's books contain such a spell?
I have no idea.
That
There are
sounds
a lot
very
of books
specific.
where It is. It's very specific. And I have to believe that if she had one, she would have used it by now.
Were they enemies?
Good
Well,
question.
she and
I assume
Illyra.
so,
uh,
because
He and Illyra.
What's that? Yeah, he and Illyra and him don't get along. And
Are
we
you
all
certain
know
of
why
that?
now.
yes, she's
You've
the one
seen
who
them
told
interact?
me. No, she's the one who told me that to
Hmm.
He would never come to the Purple Lady.
Also a good point.
I see.
Okay.
Would you like help sleeping? Sarshan holds up the pouch of the various sleep drugs.
That was not how I thought that was maybe going to end. Says
Says
Artemisia. Literally.
Oh, man.
Yeah, where are the rooms? I've only ever been in the library part.
Does
And the library
Artemisia
part
know?
is like the main hall.
Right, exactly. I've only been in that part of this place.
Yeah,
This-
no,
this
Artemisia, you
initial-
found the guest rooms.
Okay, so Artemisia is going to point the way. And Artemisia is staying in the master suite. Just FYI.
Fair enough.
Artemisia,
It-
I never
Yeah?
realized you were so familiar with this place.
Well, it's the layout is sort of intuitive, right?
No! It's a very weird building. There's a floating earth boat in the front hall, which is the giant library. Did you come here a lot? Did you come here without us?
I mean, I don't know. And she's just gonna like go towards the master suite. No more questions.
Well, I'm satisfied with that.
Oh.
But okay.
Watching, make sure. I don't know. Should we worry about Sebastian getting up, doing stuff? Is
I'm
Robert
worried
just
about
saying-
so many things right now. Like,
I could guard his room. Sarshan
I
volunteers.
don't want you
who
to
paid
do
for all
that.
these repairs? Why is Artemisia acting so weird? What's up with Sebastian?
This just feels. It's like everything is a trap, and it's just like
I know.
I,
It feels.
I've run out of anxiety.
Everyone says, I could
Well.
guard his room.
We
Yeah,
could
I mean-
also tie him up and gag him.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh, I have some
dimensional.
Dimensional shackles we could put on him.
That's right. I remember.
Let's use those.
Dimensional
I love when
shackles?
back from-
Ruin looks excited.
Welcome, honored guests.
This is what happens when you visit your ex.
You get trapped there and cannot escape. Yeah.
No, all he has to do is just explain what the heck he thinks he's doing here, and we'll let him go.
Okay, let's let him get some rest.
That's it. That's it. The
But
shackles
we
will help.
are
us.
going to put the shackles on him, right? Sarshan
Well,
says.
I
Yes.
can put them on. I'm not sure I know how to get them off.
Are these the things that they
Wow.
put on
Click.
Marsalea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So how do we get them off Marsalea?
get knock spell maybe.
Don't remember.
Didn't Marcellia do it?
No.
I think
Oh.
Sturge got them off.
Oh, I picked the lock. After I picked it once, I can pick it again.
You know, worst comes to worst, we're exploring hand chopping off
Mhm.
options. So
Cecilia,
we can just
you've been
practice.
talking about this a lot lately. I'm worried about you.
Is there any spell in the realms that regrows or reattaches limbs?
Oh, yes.
That regenerates.
I suspect
that high of a
Caliph
level,
would
too.
know what those might be.
Okay.
See,
I mean,
you just have
you
to
might
wait
have it
till
as a
Caleb-
cleric.
I didn't actually tell Artemisia that idea, so never mind.
So you're all having this conversation, and Eliver, the very
Oh, right.
old wizened dwarf, appears,
Shoot, forgot about him.
and he's just standing there silently.
Is he Lilton in disguise? What's happening?
Rogar's gonna he obviously brought some wonderful foods and drinks from home from the outpost along, so he's going to offer for Seneschal a little bit of dwarven ale, taste of home, as it were. With
He
fellow dwarf.
nods to you, very thankfully, and then he hands a letter with a golden wax seal to Artemisia.
I don't like that.
Oh man.
What does the letter say?
Wait, didn't Artemisia leave?
Well, that's right. She stomped off.
Yeah, can we
To give it
intercept
to us
that
to give to
letter?
Artemisia.
Yeah.
I think because she stomped off, you can't do that. So he handed the letter to Artemisia, and then he came over to find the rest of you. And that
Okay.
is when Rogar gave him the little cask.
Drat.
Well, if there's anything interesting, I'll have her run towards you guys. So, what's in the letter?
Well, it is definitely a letter from Lilton, and it says, "I hear that you have returned from the city. I trust that you are well. I look forward to renewing our connection sometime soon.
Menacing
Trust,
way.
trust. I have taken care of certain matters, and all shall be proceeding as we have foreseen, with a little bit of luck." And it's signed L.
Wink, a little bit of luck.
So is it dated?
It appears to be from today,
Ah, okay. So,
but it is, unless he wrote it within the last couple hours, it was from before you returned to the city today.
yeah, but
'Cause you've
what
only
she-
been in the city like 3 hours at this point.
yeah, what she wants to know is if it was written after they Cecilia pulled her out of the ring world.
Probably. It's
okay.
hard to say for sure.
So
But
she,
according to the date is today, and that the ring world was a couple days ago.
yeah. So she's gonna sort of hold the letter, and she's crumpling it because she's holding a little too tight. She's gonna go back to the group and say, so Lilton doesn't suspect anything, so that's okay. We can just not have to worry about that. So
Do we get to insight?
Sure, make an insight check.
Whoa.
We all make insight check.
Why is she acting? You're acting so sus. What the heck? No, actually, you're acting so normal. 10. I rolled a 10. Yeah.
Sounds like that sounds totally legit.
I rolled
Yeah,
a
I believe
25.
Ooh,
Go.
yes.
Thank you, Rogar.
All right. What does Rogar notice about Artemisia's behavior, Rhiannon?
Well, that she is very frightened about the letter, and she's trying to hide that. But maybe a little bit relieved because at least like before she knew what to do, so she can do that as opposed to like anything scarier. And as far as like her walking around in dark, dense manner, there's definitely a feeling that like she was really driven to get here, and then now she's here and she's like relaxing a little bit and kind of settling in, like this was something she really needed to do and now she's done it, and so she's like relaxing a little bit.
So I perceive, no, I'm not saying what she said.
Okay.
You're gonna like tell everybody?
You're still not leaving. That's the deal.
All right. Well, I mean,
I assume this place is safe. I don't know anymore.
well, we have to deal with your friend.
Oh my god.
So
Is he okay? Let's make sure he doesn't die, and then we can see if that's anything we have to deal with. But right now, I'm gonna go to sleep, or I'm gonna try to, or at least I'm gonna just go be not here.
Do you need help with that? Sarshan asks.
Yes.
Holds up the sack of.
She's gonna not make eye contact
drugs.
with anybody and say yes.
Well then. He looks around cheerily. Good night, everyone. And he follows Cecilia.
Stong is gonna look their direction, and he's gonna look at the rest of the irregulars, and he's gonna be like, "It's when."
Ruan's like, I don't know.
since
Cool.
the goblin fight, I thought.
Oh. Ow.
Only since the goblin fight, Ruan says.
Ooh.
I suspect there was more that happened between them than fighting goblins during that fight.
So it seems, my friend.
I guess she wrestled his gob. None from mine.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Rogar
Sorry,
starts to say
take that
something
back.
and then goes, and Ruan looks at him like scandalized. Like, that's my sister.
Actually, you know what?
Your fault,
you know what
Ruin.
Artemisia is actually going to do is she's going to go up to Rogar and be like, "Can you lend my sister Happy Earthquakes?"
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh, I would be happy to. I'd be so happy to.
Don't tell her that I said that.
So educational.
I'm happy to. I'm happy
Oh
to
my
talk her
God.
through all of this.
Well, I don't think she'd want to talk to you, but like you could like slip it under her door.
Sure.
Oh man.
Aye,
God.
aye.
Stong is going to
I-
silence that area outside their door.
I only have a few. I only have
Silence. Yeah.
like the Manticore's arch and the. I only have like a few drafted up because I don't. I'm still remembering them, you know. So, but
Oh.
I.
You note that silence is a concentration spell, and you
I
can
do.
only cast it in one place at a time.
Yeah. I think the wizard probably takes more well, actually it depends on how loud they are, I guess, where the priority is. But the wizard takes first priority for now.
Anyway. Do you all retire for the evening?
Sorry.
So you seem to have a number of rooms set aside for you.
Are they like all in a single like hallway? Like, are
No.
they all? Oh, okay. Is there a is there sort of a main access point to where we're sleeping? That, like,
Basically, the manor house has a main central hall, which has a hole in the ceiling that leads up into the air, right?
Aye.
Off of that hall, there are 4 doors in the 4 walls. One of those doors is the entrance to the manor. The door opposite leads to like a master suite, which is where Artemisia went. And then the two doors on the two other sides lead to other guest rooms and such. There's also a spiral staircase leading up to the tower that rises up out of the corner of the hall. But there's a bunch of construction on those stairs, and there's like a blanket over the stairs that suggests that you shouldn't go up it. On an invisible
Like we
wall, it
should go
won't
up it.
stop you from going up it.
Okay, I want to cast a Guardian of Faith in that central area that like
Okay.
all of the always spoke of. So, you know, Sharon Lard, send your servant to watch over us this night. And a spectral dwarf appears looking like a dwarven Dwayne Johnson rock. And
Dwayne the Love
stands-
Rock Johnson.
that's right. And he stands guard there for the next 8 hours
Okay.
against.
It gives you the signal. And looks at the dwarven ghost, the spirit, like, oh, I see.
So, and one of us should probably like arrange like a watch schedule, right? Like to like at least one of us awake at all times.
I could
Like,
Ruin
stay
says,
up
I don't
late
need to
night.
sleep very much. You can use me
Uh,
for whatever
What
you
do you
want,
mean?
Rogar.
no, okay.
Ooh.
I was going to blush and say, okay, if you can just watch over Sebastian and the guards, then okay.
Guys, I can
I'm
only
gonna go.
cast silence on one room. Come on. Come on.
Certainly. He just crosses his legs and sits down outside Sebastian's room.
Oh, and the seneschal, Artemisia will make sure that like, does he need anything? Is he all right?
You're not entirely sure how to communicate with him. Like, he can hear you, he can understand what you're saying, but he can't speak back to you
Does
because he's mute.
would tongues do sign language?
He doesn't use
Interesting
sign
question.
language,
Oh, okay.
but he seems to understand your intention, and he understands what you're saying, and he just kind of nods to you and just conveys this sense of like everything is fine.
Do you have message? Do you have the message cantrip? Oh.
No.
Okay. So you all retire for the evening.
Wait.
Wait.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go first, Sturge, if you want. Mine's pretty quick.
Sturge is going to start looking through the crates of books. He's looking for spell books, in particularly, or spell scroll.
Okay.
He's desperate.
Yeah, you do find some scrolls of relatively low level spells.
Yeah, and he'll take those to his room. He's gonna see if he can add them to
Stuffing them in his coat.
the spell book.
Okay. It is like a room in Baldur's Gate. You just go in, you like there's a bookcase. Oh, a bunch of spell scrolls. Yoink, yoink, yoink.
Yep, anything that he can comprehend, he's gonna grab it and borrow it.
Okay. Song.
Okay. I've had this spell forever, and I've never used it. And this is like finally an appropriate moment. So I have Glyph of Warding, and
Cool.
I want to go into Sebastian's room, and I want to create a glyph on his bed. And
Around him. Okay.
yeah. And I want it to trigger when he moves, because I assume I can't do it like when he wakes or something.
You realize that there is already a pattern drawn in the floor around this particular bed, which you can
Oh.
easily use for your spell.
Oh, sweet. All I want it to do is I'm gonna attach it to a sending spell, And all I wanted to say, I wanted to send to Cecilia, and I wanted to say, your ex-boyfriend is escaping. Your ex-boyfriend is awake. Your ex-boyfriend is escaping. Your ex-boyfriend is awake, like over and over.
Okay.
Do you know that Cecilia is probably going to take a bunch of sedatives?
Yo.
We'll see. We'll see.
Your ex is escaping. Your ex is awake. So that's
Don't let me go,
7.
sorry.
Oh, just over and
Fine.
over until it fills 25.
Yeah. So it will be like the message would repeat 3.5 times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Aaron, what were you saying?
I said that Cecilia's gonna probably end up taking a bunch of sedatives, but if that doesn't wake her up, presumably it will wake up Sarshan.
Sarshan
Which will be a disaster.
prepares you the tea again
Less.
with less of it this time.
You don't have to drink it right away.
Are you all right? Yeah,
No.
Yes. Hmm.
Really, no.
Would you like to talk?
No, I don't know.
Would you like
This is-
to fight?
No.
Oh.
What?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
She's just gonna kiss him because I don't think she can say those words.
Oh.
This was going to be my 5th guess. And then he kisses Cecilia as well. All right.
Does this
Fade
sending
to
go
black,
off in the middle of the
artfully.
night? Yeah, fade to
It does
black.
not. Are you all retiring for the evening now?
I keep wanting to say no because as soon as I say yes, you're going to turn this into a murder mystery. And then we're going to need to know like who did what with what object in what
Me?
location. Okay, yeah, Stone goes to bed. It's gonna go.
Okay. Cecilia, you do awaken in the morning to a message blasting into your head going,
Oh my
your
God.
ex-boyfriend is awake. Your
Oh my
ex-boyfriend
God.
is escaping. Your ex-boyfriend is awake.
What is
Your
this?
ex-boyfriend is escaping.
What is this?
Sarshan, who is sprawled all over, right, in his usual idiom, goes, huh? What? Huh? What? I wasn't sleeping. Meditating.
What? Why is that? Okay, I sound like Stong says that Sebastian's awake. Okay, I want to go down there before everybody else gets down there. So, okay.
Right. Sarshan bounds up, pulls out his sword out of nowhere.
Get dressed.
Right. Puts the sword back away into nowhere, starts putting his clothes on. Cecilia is like, well, I was in a hurry, but
Maybe.
okay.
Except, like, no. Don't
So
need
you
embarrassing
hurry
stories.
out of that room.
Yes.
And over to the warded room, the warded
Yes.
chamber. The rain has stopped. You no longer hear rain pattering on the roof, and sunlight is coming down through that main central area in the hall.
How do her books not get mildewy?
Good question.
Magic. Magic is probably the answer.
wizard
Why did
did
I
it?
ask that
Yeah.
question?
Oh. I was hoping the old manservant would like walk by in the back and like just give you some side eye. You know, that it's all his work, his hard
just
work.
like-
his eyes are just kind of gray because he's blind. He still gives you die.
Yeah.
All he does is go around each day flapping books to keep.
That's a silly question.
Yeah.
Obviously, I clean each one with a towel.
Oh,
To living. All right. So there's something going on in the main chamber, but you're headed to Sebastian's room.
Wait, what's going on in the main chamber?
Well, I'll get there in a second. So
If it's distracting enough, I feel like Cecilia would stop.
it's not really that distracting, I don't
Okay.
think. It's just people are in there. But like there are a lot of people in the manor house, so it's
Okay.
not that big a deal.
Okay.
Anyway, you get to Sebastian's room, open the door. Well, Ruin is still, he's meditating outside that room.
Run.
And he sees you coming, his eyes are, sister, good morrow.
Song said that.
Sarshan looks at him, Ruin.
Okay, enough of that, guys. Song said that Sebastian's awake.
Stong said.
Yeah,
Ruin looks
somebody
around.
sent
I
me a
haven't seen
message.
Stong this morning.
Okay. Well, he shouted in my ears 3.5 times.
Oh.
that
Sarshan
Sebastian's
taps
awake
his
and
hooked
escaping.
sword against his shoulder. So open the door, Ruin.
Or get up. Either way.
Right. Yeah. He springs up and moves out of the way so you
All
can
right.
open the door.
Okay, open that door.
Yep. Sebastian is there and he has thrown his legs out of the bed and crossed the circle of the glyph, which is glowing with this faint. I don't know what color is your magic in this case, Stong.
Dark green.
Yeah, dark green glowing circle, which you recognize, Cecilia, as a spell that Stong cast.
Nice. Distance high five.
I
So
receive your
Sebastian-
high five.
Sebastian's there. He's covered in bandages. He looks pretty scrawny, like he hasn't eaten very well in some time. He's older than he was when you last saw him, which was some years ago.
Which is how time works.
Yeah, which is how time works.
Unfortunately.
Particularly when you're a human, right?
That's true.
So at this point, he looks older than you do, but that's because he's a human and you're a half elf,
That's disorienting.
right? A little bit of fuzz, but not like a beard or anything. And he looks very haggard and tired. And he looks up and he says, "Oh, Ilya, it wasn't a dream."
Okay.
Okay.
Is he still wearing the dimensional shackles? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
He looks down at them.
Safety.
Yeah, of course. Of course. You are a very cautious woman. Indeed.
Yep. What are you doing here?
He looks at Sarshan, who's holding his sword. And he says, "Can we speak privately, perhaps?" And Sarshan says, "Well, I don't see why that is a requirement of you answering a simple question like that."
Does seem like maybe you could just tell me. Cecilia is like full of doppelganger and enchanter panic.
All right, all right. He tries to like rub his neck, but he can't quite because
Okay.
his hands are
Okay.
shackled. And he is,
All right, hang on. We get those things off. That seems like maybe a good idea. Maybe a good idea. I don't know. He might be a doppelganger. Everything's
Sarshan
terrifying
says,
in this
"I
world.
could kill him and then we'll see."
That is very thoughtful, but
Rogar could
hold
bring him
that.
back to life if he was here within a minute, right?
Well, why don't we?
Sebastian
visit
says, "Wait a
Rogar?
second."
Just okay. Everybody, calm down.
They
Is
both
anybody
shut
else awake?
Well, now they are.
Like,
That was
like-
really loud.
Oh, sounds like
So,
Cecilia's awake.
Yeah. You awaken to Cecilia being very loud.
It's like
By the way,
most mornings.
I checked and 3 more levels, and then chopping off hands and fingers is definitely on the table because then I'll get regenerate.
All right,
So,
we
3
just
more
have
levels.
to keep Lilton.
Wow.
Just 3
alive.
more levels.
Wow. I like how life clerics are on board for this.
I mean, Rogar is not
It's a direct
necessarily, but I'm just
solution.
letting it. Yeah.
It's symbolic too, so
Yeah.
don't knock it. All right, okay. Just tell me what you're doing here, and how did you even find me?
Well, it's a very long story. But he looks at Sarshan. Sarshan looks at him impatiently. He says, "Well, to sum up, I have fled from my captor, and I have sought you out."
Your captor.
Yes.
Last I heard, you were chummy chum with those people.
No, that's not who I mean. I don't mean the witches. I don't mean the Wiclaran. I mean Lazar. I mean your father.
Ooh. Wait,
Sergeant
he came
growls
back
a little
after
bit.
you? Sorry.
Yes, when he escaped captivity, he came to find you, I think, and he found me instead because the McLaren had bequeathed his workshop to me, and well,
Oh, I don't think you like that.
no,
presumptuous.
he was displeased. But anyway, I didn't know where to go. So I sought you out because, well, if anyone was going to protect me from Lazar, it would be you.
Yeah. I mean, I did it before.
Right. He looks a little awkward, and he looks down at his hands, like
Okay.
maybe ashamed.
Where was he keeping you?
On the road, mostly. We were searching for you.
Did you just okay? So he knows where I am. Did you just brought him here? Is that what happened?
I don't believe he knows where you are, but I don't know for certain. I have this, and he pulls this little necklace out of his well, he's not wearing a shirt anymore because he's just bandaged, so he shows you this necklace which says this wards me from detection. I got it from the archmage who used to occupy this tower, in fact.
Aaron?
Yes.
Okay. You know Mirren? Oh my god. Why
Well,
is your
only
life
Did you see her
overlapping in such
recently?
Weird ways.
Yeah, where is she?
Wait,
Did
are
you-
we all
did you see
there?
her recently?
What?
I just assumed. I just was like, oh, I guess they're like friends from way back. Nobody told me.
only I'm sorry, my head is a little
Okay.
blurry.
Lay down. I'm gonna
right.
go get.
He does
someone.
that.
I'm gonna step out.
Sergeant says, I'll stay here and watch him.
Thank you.
If she's seen Mirren recently, we
stab
should.
him.
Don't
Sorry.
stab him.
Don't.
All
stab him.
right. I won't.
Unless you have to.
Yes.
What were you saying, Roger?
Saying if you've seen Mirren recently, we should definitely like find out. I could
We should.
try to heal him a bit more if that would help.
So Sitsu's gonna come find Rogar because it seems like he might need more healing, and also the Sturge has like identify magic items, kind of magic. Okay, she's gonna come find Sturge because she would like to know for sure that amulet does what Sebastian says it does. Because if it's something different, that would be really important to know right now.
Is somebody
So
going to
it's a
knock
high
on
area.
Artemisia's door? She hasn't come
Yes.
out yet.
You haven't. As everybody else is out, she's definitely gonna come bang on Adramish's
Are
door.
any of us murdered? Are we all alive? Just wanted a quick
Yes.
check.
Well, you've all kind of come into the central area now, and you can see
Professor
that the earth moat is floating off the ground.
And when Artemisia, when their door was knocked on, like you heard like this sort of canine noise. It was like, and
What?
and then like pause, and then Artemisia actually comes to the door herself.
Did you sleep well? Do you have wild dreams?
Maybe.
God, I love imagining you like dream running and
Yeah,
like
seriously.
dream licking things or I don't know, biting, hunting.
I love it.
Her bed is like a total mess because like when a dog really gets going and all the blankets are like going.
You just push them all in one way, push them all the other way, push it all the other way, push it back, circle around a few times. So I
But
just
she's half
want
out
to
now, and the
I just want to share this anecdote that the chat inspired me.
Oh,
So like the door closes and Sarshan looks at Sebastian. He smiles. He says, "She didn't say don't maul you," and then he starts turning into a wolf.
Oh god, the murder's happening like right before our eyes.
I'm afraid what we're gonna find on the Earth moat when we
He
look.
bursts into the room.
Yeah.
Sarshan's
Yeah.
covered in blood. He's like, "I
Yeah.
don't know what happened."
Oh man.
God.
Sarshan
Worst
killed
murder
him.
mystery
Problem goes
ever.
away.
Oh man.
Professor Plum on the Earth moat with a wrench. Here we go.
So, does Artemisia come out of her room like dressed and ready for the day, or?
She is dressed but kind of rumpled. Like, depending on, whatever sort of insight checks one might decide to do, it seems as if like she probably drank a lot of Tsar and then laid down, like maybe without her coat, and then like had dreams and then woke up and then her clothes came back, but they'd been slept on a little bit, and then she like pulled on her normal like coat. So her hair is up, but like kind of coming out of the braids a little bit. And there's probably some like wolf hair on her clothing.
A little bit out of sorts. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Good luck. I love it.
the earth moat starts to descend once more. And you see that there is someone on top of the earth moat sitting on a chair,
Oh wait.
sipping
Oh.
tea, reading
Oh,
a
God.
broadsheet.
Oh god.
And it is a breathtakingly handsome gold-skinned elf in
What a-
fine clothing. And he says, good morrow,
Oh my
my
god.
lady, Wilton says. I was wondering if you would ever arise.
Holy
He flips
shit.
over to the next page of the broadsheet.
What does somebody roll for a self-control check?
Wisdom saving throw?
Against a DC what?
So now roll.
Oh man. I got a 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
nice knowing you.
that is all the time we have for tonight.
Oh, darn it!
Nice.
I
We'll
was
pick up at
ready.
this cliffhanger next week.
Oh, I was ready to attack. Whatever. I'm rolling initiative. Failed to save.
So the chat has been discussing who is Lilton in disguise, and they're like, okay, so now Artemisia is not Lilton in disguise.
I was suspecting you for a moment, I'll be honest.
Good call.
I was ready to vote you out that
Good call.
airlock, just eject you straight into space.
Well, tune in next week to see what becomes of this morning confrontation. See if Sarshan has mauled Sebastian to death. Learn more about the mystery that brought Cecilia's old friend, rival, enemy, who knows, back into her life. And see the continuing intrigues of Westgate now that we're back in the city. Finally,
Like,
after literally
Oh.
months.
We forgot we were gonna scry. We'll do that next time.
Okay.
There's so many things to do.
So
It's true.
We've been
I have
avoiding
been-
Chu.
Eric's got to be your DM for this campaign. You have been the wonderful audience. Thank you for coming with us on this journey. Take it away, Aaron.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. Check out our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, at idlechampions.com.
I'm Rhiannon Held. Thank you to our moderators tonight, Felderine and Shay.
Hey, I'm Yang Ying Wang. Check out the charities that we support at the links below.
Steven, you're muted.
No,
You cast
I
the silence
muted
spell on him.
because I didn't want to make eating noises.
You made yourself.
Yeah.
You can also find our past videos on our YouTube channel linked on our Twitch page below. Be sure to click subscribe to support us and the bell to get notified. Add new content.
All right. Really quick, just wanted to give a shout out to Anna Fott and Lori Krell for our awesome character and NPC art, which you got to see throughout the show there. And Eric Belial, again, who did the art for the Westgate, kindly allowed us to use it. Thanks for all of the subscriptions and the bits. You know, again, we do it for the love, but the money don't hurt. And the adventure continues over on our website, where you can find character bios and player bios and a lot of cool bonus materials, letters from and journals from Artemisia and Cecilia, touching on a lot of the stuff that we're seeing in these episodes. So check that out. And until next time, stay scrawly.